Good morning, viewers. This is the balance sheet format prescribed under Companies Act 2013, Structure of Schedule 3, Part 1, Form of Balance sheet. So, company form of organization, they present their balance sheet information, assets and liabilities in this format. This is your e equity and liability, and here it is called shareholders fund, which is called major head, and this is called share of capital and reserve and surplus. This is your minor head or subhead. You can, this is the subhead, this is the major head. Shareholders fund is the major head, and under it share capital, reserve and surplus. These two are called subhead. Similarly, non-current liabilities, major head, and under it two subheads items, long-term borrowing and long-term provisions. Though there are other items under non-current liabilities are in the prescribed balance sheets of the company, but you have to study only these two items, that is two subheads. Okay, similarly current liabilities, major head, and under it this is the subheadings, and trade payables. So this is the trade payables, other current liability, short-term provisions. Okay. Similarly, asset saving. This is the major head, non-current assets, and under it subhead fixed assets, and again subheads having subheads tangible assets, intangible assets. Okay, this is the subhead. It is non-current investment. So this is the format of your company balance sheet. Current assets, and this is the major head, and it is called subhead. So current investment, inventory, subhead, trade payables. All right. So these are formats we have to remember this. So one by one again I will show you here. See all of you clearly. This is I am again. So major head and subheads. Under equity and liability, there are three major head, and under assets there are two major head. One is non-current assets, another is current asset, and these all are subheads. Now this is okay. Again, now I will show you the format of balance sheet. Up, I will show you part 2, schedule 3, part 2, form of statement of profit and loss. So this is the statement of profit and loss format used. Okay, so you need this profit, this for the exceptional cases. Well, this is the part 2, form of statement of profit and loss, name of the company, and profit and loss statement for the year ended. This is the form used to prepare profit and loss account of a company under Companies Act 2013. This is new format prescribed. And notes to accounts, which we have to show here like this. This is the notes to accounts, we can say here. To account is also shown in the balance sheet. Okay, so now this is the format. Now I will show you. So based on this balance sheet, so we have to prepare certain questions and answers. So we have to study the balance sheets here. So now you see the balance sheet, the Companies Act 2013. Now one question is, name two subheads under the head shareholders fund as per schedule 3 part 1 of the balance sheet. So you see in the balance sheet share capital and reserve and surplus is there. Name two subhead. List two items under the heading non current liabilities. in a balance sheet prepared as per schedule 3. So you see, if you see the balance sheet format, then you will find long term borrowing, long term provision. Subhead, just I explain you. And similarly, list any four items that are shown under the heading reserve and surplus. This is not shown on the face of the balance sheet, the amount. It is only the reserve and surplus. This is the subhead of shareholders fund. But under it, what are the items we write? So, so few items I have taken here, but it is not shown. These items not shown. Only these headings we write under the subhead of shareholders fund, that is reserve and surplus. But under this, what type of items we write? Like this here. So capital reserve, security premium, debenture redemption reserve, general reserve. These few items I have taken. 4 items are taken. Okay, now these items, the sum total capital reserve plus securities premium reserve amount plus debenture redemption reserve amount plus general reserve amount, total we aggregate, and the aggregate amount we write under the head reserve and surplus. But this aggregation of these 4 aggregation is shown under the notes to account after the balance sheet, below the balance sheet. Okay, similarly here the list the items which are shown under the heading current liabilities. Now if you see under the heading current liabilities balance sheet, so this is, you will find subhead as per schedule 3. So short term borrowings is there, trade payables is there, other current liabilities there. Here it is a small, you see here, short term provision. This one is short term provision. Okay, list of which shown under the heading current liabilities. This is short term provisions. So these 4 items I have taken. So in this way we have to prepare the questions and answers, and once you see the balance sheet format properly, so you can easily answer these type questions. Okay, name the subheads under the head non-current assets. Name the subhead under the head. Now you see, if you see the non-current assets heading subhead, you will find fixed assets, non-current investment, and long-term loans. This is also there, but it is not required for you. So you remember this one only. Assets. What are the subhead? Fixed asset is there, non-current investment is there, long-term loans, and this is not required. Long-term loans and advances. Okay, then your other non-current assets. These are subheads. Well, in this way you have to study the balance sheet, and you need to prepare the question. And this is a different question. Under what major headings and subheadings are the following items recorded in a company balance sheet? Sundry creditors and bills payable. This is under major heading is current liabilities. So here you see major heading is current liability. Okay, sundry creditors and bills payable. Major heading is current liabilities, and it comes under the subhead trade payables. Or if the question is asked in a different way, give 2 example of trade payables, then you write down these 2 answers. Similarly, debtors and bill receivable, it is under the major head current assets, and it come under trade receivable. Okay, so give 2 example of trade receivable, then you write down these 2 answers, debtors and bills receivable. And bonds or debentures and a term loan, it comes under non-current liabilities, and it is long-term borrowings. So under it long-term borrowings, bond debentures, terms loan, bond or debentures, terms loans comes. But it on the face of the balance sheet, On the face of the balance sheet, it is only the subhead long-term borrowing. So where we write this item? So after the balance sheet, preparing the notes to account like this. You are preparing notes to accounts and notes to account. So then, like long-term provision, long-term borrowings, long-term borrowings. Okay, and then what is this? Is debenture, debentures amount something, and your term loan amount, term loan amount something. So total it. So total you will get some amount you will get, and this total will come long term borrowings, this total. And all this process in recording the transactions and recording the values in the balance sheets, we follow this like notes to accounts and under it this one. So this is and furnitures, land and building. This is your non-current asset, major head and minor head. It is your subhead fixed assets, and under subhead fixed assets, it's under this again there is a subheading, sub to subhead, that is tangible assets, intangible assets. Here this is the tangible. This okay, students. So in this way you so we have to study the balance sheets and need to understand. So once you see for example of reserve and surplus, give four items of reserve and surplus. Then what are give four items of reserve and surplus. Then you have to write capital reserve, security premium, general reserve, and capital redemption reserve account. And you can write also profit and loss account balance also you can write this. Well students, so all of you go through it, note down. So questions is very nicely I shared, and you see one by one answers you note down in your copy. Even you note down in copy this up to this table, and this is I explained you for your understanding purpose, this notes to account. So after the balance sheet, notes to accounts we prepared, which are not shown on balance sheet. Similarly, after the profit and loss account, we have to prepare notes to account, which are not shown directly on the face of the profit and loss account. Only final figures we place on profit and loss account, and final figure we place under balance sheet. And all these workings we do with the help of notes to account. Well students, thank you very much. So all of you watch it